Welcome to the Pursuit Podcast, where we discuss pursuits in business, the outdoors, and life in general. Proudly recorded in the SIP Outdoors studio, I'm your host, Corbin May. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest alone and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Pursuit Properties or SIP Outdoors.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left.
I can't see myself.
No, I've got it on here.
Get on here, man. Don't look at anything. You look at the principal.
The principal. That's what we're doing. Yep. Well, welcome, boys.
What's up? Happy New Year.
First Pursuit Podcast.
I'm excited.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Finally, it's only been about 2 months of work trying to get all this.
Yeah, you've done a good job.
Set up. Yeah. Sorry, my cord management's not a little bit better, but
Looks good.
Can't complain too much.
Sounds good.
Work on
That's all that matters.
It's running. That's the that's the main thing. A lot of trial and error, but well, I want to have y'all on since y'all are the founders of Pursuit Properties, and so I figured what a better guest than bringing y'all both on. Kind of let us, find out what kind of spawned y'all to start Pursuit Properties and kind of how long y'all been in the business. I'll start with you, Joseph. So you've been in real estate for how long now?
January 10th, 2 days will be 16 years.
So you had to look at your watch and tell you what time it was. Yeah.
16 years.
It's like looking on the inside of your ring to
Didn't know
figure
what
out your
date it
anniversary
was.
it is.
Yeah.
Everything.
Is yours engraved on the inside of your ring?
Well, it used to be.
Really?
Yeah.
I had something engraved. I think it was just like talking about the ring, but then it's like gone.
Yeah,
now.
mine wore off. So.
Do you still remember your anniversary?
Yeah, of course. June 10th, 2006.
There you go. Pass the test. Becca filtered that one in here. But so 16 years.
16 years
So,
on the 10th.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what kind of got you started?
Just, man, my love of the outdoors. I've always wanted to be in the outdoors and hunt and fish and just being behind a desk in an office never was kind of my forte. And so went to school, got a degree in insurance.
Where'd you
real
go?
estate, Delta State. Yep.
Fighting okra.
Fighting Oakry. I love it. Yep. Statesman.
The home of the hummingbird mosquitoes.
Definitely Boone and Crockett mosquitoes in
Yes.
the Delta in the summertime, for sure.
Absolutely.
But it was good, man. I was at Delta State for 2.5 years and got out of school, sold insurance for a year,
Okay.
and the suit and tie and the slacks and all that just wasn't for me, and so transitioned into real estate and never looked back.
Yeah.
So
There you go. So selling insurance started out. Who was the first brokerage you were with?
Tom Smith.
Tom Smith, Landon Homes, and then I know at one point you went to Four Corner.
There was a transition to Mossy Oak, Beth
Oh,
McClellan.
Okay, so you're with Mossy Oak for a little bit.
Beth out of Kosciuszko.
Okay, because you grew up in Madison, though, correct?
Born and raised.
Okay.
Yep.
So did you move during that period? Weren't you in Tupelo at one point?
Shelley.
Okay.
Shelley's
Shelley's from Tupelo. Okay.
Yeah, so
But y'all never lived up there.
never lived up there.
Okay.
Lived here. She was in school here at UMC. Went
Okay.
to Mississippi College and UMC, and went to Mossy Oak. Was there a couple years with Beth. She's awesome, phenomenal. Learned a lot. Very instrumental in my career, and then just the Kosciuszko office still living here was kind of hard.
So you were commuting kind of back and forth.
Commuting back and
Kosciuszko.
forth, and then got a call from Gary one day with Four Corners, and sat down with him and had a great conversation. And just, man, he's just such a godly man, and just really felt the Lord calling me to come there to kind of help him grow.
Yeah.
And so did that. Was there for 8-10 years.
Okay.
Four Corners.
Okay.
And,
Long time.
and then we did Pursuit.
Yeah. So when did y'all two meet? So I do were y'all neighbors before y'all started working together?
Yep.
Yep. I guess we met through church.
Okay.
Yeah, we moved in the neighborhood in 17. Y'all
Y'all-
may have been before
We
us.
moved in 17. Yeah. early
Y'all go to
17.
Pine Lake,
Pine
right?
Lake,
Okay,
Madison.
Pine Lake, Madison, and
Yep.
then so met there, but then found out you were neighbors. Like, when did y'all move to? Y'all were in Saddlebrook, right?
Saddlebrook, live one house down from each other. I guess the girls kind of
The girls were in the same kindergarten class.
same
or-
kindergarten or church group
Yeah.
or something. Then just seeing each other in the neighborhood and just getting to know them and so that's kind of how it formed. He still doing PT at the time.
Yeah. So, so what year? So I guess I knew you were doing PT, but you've moved around a lot, and then so y'all were neighbors. I guess y'all just started talking, decided to come sell real estate. Walk us through kind of your, leading up to that transition point.
So I obviously was a physical therapist for, had 15 plus or minus years in it. Did a lot of moving around, a lot of just changes of companies. Got tired of the corporate takeovers, corporate BS that just went with healthcare as it is now. And just was looking for a change. Plus, with my wife's schedule, working at the university, needed some flexibility to help with the kids. Kids were getting older, so just really started digging deep, trying to figure out what I was going to do when I finally grew up. And, knew I was going to have some sort of change. wasn't really sure what it was, and had started, a friendship with Joseph and Shelley. And I was thinking one day we were just sitting there talking, and he was like, "Come get your real estate license, sell real estate with me." I'm like, I don't know. And I thought about it for a while, and of course prayed about it for a long time, and it just seemed like that was the right thing to do.
So you hadn't thought about getting out of PT at any point, like before that? Was that kind of the first?
Occasionally, but
Yeah.
it was like, I realized I would find myself in the clinic staring out the window, wondering why I'm sitting here inside of four walls, all day long. And just was really longing to be back outside. Growing up on a farm, that's how I spent most of the first part of my life.
You grew up in Benton.
Vaughn.
Vaughn.
Benton, yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
So just really missed being outside, being in the outdoors. And then, like I said, the burnout kind of added to it. So,
So were you still doing PT during COVID?
yes.
Okay.
Yep. And during COVID, I actually went part-time, so some of our other PTAs could stay full-time and wouldn't lose their job. So I went part-time, and that about 3 weeks into being part-time, I was like, I kind of like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So
What
continued.
year did you get your license?
2020.
2020.
So you got licensed in 2020. So went part time. That's when y'all had that conversation. Kind of put the bug in your ear,
Right.
and then you're like, you know what? I'm gonna go into this. Well, you started at a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, like I know it was crazy, but I know the real estate market kind of took off during that period.
Right.
Yep.
For sure.
It was definitely a good time to.
So
to
it was
get
still
my
Four
license.
Corners at that
That's right.
at that point. So how long were you with Four Corners before y'all kind of decided that y'all wanted to grow and build your own business?
I was with them from 2020 till into 2023.
December 23
December
is
23
when
is
we
when we-
launched Pursuit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think he and Gary had some conversations, and their side of the business or whatever, and so he came to us, and of course the number one thing we wanted to do was make sure we weren't going to ruin our friendship, starting a business together,
Yeah.
and we all talked about that, prayed about it, and we we felt like we could make it work, and not run into any issues there, and so it.
I do feel like y'all make it work, and I think that's unique because I know how good of friends y'all are outside of the office, but I feel like y'all's work balances like really well. You also balance each other out a little bit, kind of get a little Jekyll Hyde type thing.
Which one's which?
I think anyone that knows y'all knows who's who. But no, it's a unique environment, and I think that was one thing. So like when I came on board, I guess it might have been 1 year today. I think January 8th might have been my first day.
You did that on purpose. didn't you?
Pursuit. No, I really didn't. Like as we had this conversation I guess when we were driving to the property, we were
Yeah.
trying to figure out. I was looking back at old pictures, and I was like, "When was my
That's
first
right.
day?" And
Yeah.
my first picture, I think I was wearing a Pursuit hat,
hat.
like on like January. It might have been January 6th or 8th,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
Yep.
But that was something that kind of like stood out to me. Was I like that the family balance atmosphere. You know, it's not just, and that's hard. It's really hard to do because you wanted to separate work and your personal life, but I think it's nice when they can kind of blend naturally. And I think that Pursuit, I'm just speaking from my perspective, so other agents might not have all the same thing, but I love
We want to invite them on the podcast.
we want
today.
like, Logan, you listen to our but no, I just enjoy it. Like I said, my wife's gotten to know both of y'all's wives very well, and just kind of the family dynamic. And we're not a super large brokerage, but at the same time, like it's large enough, but it still keeps that kind of that family atmosphere, and I really enjoy it. And like full disclosure, I hang out with y'all outside the office. I enjoy doing that. Obviously, we do a lot of work together and stuff too. But y'all are guys that I like to have dinner with, and go hunting, do whatever, fishing, drink some bourbon, do whatever.
That's it.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Do stuff like that. So, but going back to kind of just the transition period, like, was this something you had thought about for a while? Like, when you're in real estate, that you wanted to grow your own brokerage, have your own brokerage one day. Was that a goal, or was that just something that kind of happened?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always a goal for, to be your own boss and own your own business and be able to structure it and run it the way you want to run it, and or the way that you feel that needs to be ran. And so it's, we put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears every day. Me, Adam, you, all of our agents, any real estate agent, any person who runs a company is it's not always glorious.
Yeah. How were those early days?
Yeah, early days is it was a grind, and
Yeah.
it still is.
Yeah.
Every day is a grind, right? And there's no sitting back and the phone just rings and things just happen. You've got to get out and hustle, and that's with any business. But yeah, man, the first 6 months I would say was, just the websites and the designs and everything is just it's overwhelming at times.
Yeah.
And you just got to kind of compartmentalize it and take it step by step to handle everything. And luckily we had Travis who did a fantastic job for us, and to do the website and IT, because that's I know nothing
Yeah,
about any of this.
we
This
know.
I
is-
don't either. That's,
We
that's the
know.
bad part.
So, like, how was it for you? Because you came on, just got your license in 2020, so you've been doing it for about 3 years. Was that kind of scary, stepping out, starting a brokerage, like being pretty new in the business? I say new,
I mean, I guess I was still, not to say a seasoned agent is not still working hard, but I was still kind of in the new stage of, understanding the grind, understanding that, I've got to get my name out there. So it probably was a little easier for me because I was still trying to get my name out there. So changing, and I wasn't associated with a certain brokerage for an extended amount of time like Joseph had been. So it was really, wasn't, Adam with Four Corner Properties. It was just, Adam. So Adam now with Pursuit Properties was a pretty easy transition to me to just kind of keep that grind, and just changing that brokerage name didn't have a whole lot to change, but changing over to being more responsible with the marketing and trying to push that out there was definitely a grind. And of course, I don't know anything about marketing. I don't understand how it works. So that's why we have you doing what you're doing.
just a pawn in this giant scheme. No, it's a lot of fun. But I guess, just advice out there to any other agents and stuff, like starting out, like, are there some things that you did early on that maybe you would change, or just lessons that you learned? It's like, man, if I would have known this back then, like, what are some things that y'all, I mean, I know there's
How long do we have?
Yeah, as much time as you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, learning lessons. You try not to learn the expensive lessons. I think any agent learns expensive lessons along the way, whether it's I didn't get a document signed or I didn't follow up or but yeah, there's a lot of things that I've you've learned along the way that I would not have wouldn't do today for sure. And I try to stress that to you guys, to some of our agents and the newer agents that hey, this is not always the best solution. This is not always the best route to take. Have you thought about this situation? And let my mistakes not be your mistakes. And but yeah, lot of life lessons, good and bad, and but that's what builds character and builds who you are today.
So if there was like a young agent listening to this, and it's like, if y'all had like, a piece of advice for them, they're just or thinking about getting the real estate license, or maybe they just got it. I mean, I know how hard it is, kind of like starting out. Like, what's like a piece of advice that you would give them?
My piece of advice is don't look at other agents' social media and think that you're gonna just walk in and sell millions and millions of dollars a piece of property. And you probably will, but it's not going to happen overnight. And just be careful on the perception on how you perceive other agents and how you perceive what other people are doing. Try not to base yourself off of what they're doing, and don't expect yourself to just walk in and make a ton of money super easy. I mean, it's a grind and it takes time.
Yeah, I think there's an interesting stat that's like I can't remember what percentage of realtors will like let their license lapse after 3 years. It's like a pretty staggering high percentage. And I guess it's frustrating too, is just because I think, a lot of people do come into the business and expecting, like, they see someone over here, look at them, oh, they're hunting and fishing and making a bunch of money. And it's like, man, that's just not reality.
Right.
It is not reality. Honestly, like, we're one of the lowest paid commission-based fields like out there when you base it on percent commissions. And then also, I don't think a lot of people see the stuff that's going on behind the scenes. I think a lot of people think that, we should ride around with side-by-side, show a property or a house, and then write up a contract and make money. And it's like, golly, if we build by the hour,
Great industry to be in.
I was say it'd be nice. Maybe we can talk to the real estate commission and come up with some hourly billing, which I think some people might do that. But it is grind. Like I said, I'm in now year 2. Yeah.
Year 3.
Yes. So going into my 3rd year, because I got licensed in November of 23. And that was what I started off with JP Clark, and he was phenomenal, great mentor to me, just really taught me how to be a good agent. And he also kind of the same things y'all told me, is just being like patient, being able to, know that this is the long game, not just chasing the quick dollar and it was frustrating for like a long time, because I'd always work jobs where it's like I do X amount of work and I get paid on X day,
right.
And then so now, you don't know, you might not get a commission for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And it's like, that's a whole different level of stress. And then trying to figure out the things to do along the way. And, that was like one of the things I was most grateful for when I came over here, is just having the office and having other agents and brokers to mentor me and kind of like helping me, show me like a roadmap. And obviously you still have to figure it out for yourself. Like there's not a gold map, like find a system.
No, there's not a perfect plan for everybody's not the same. Yeah. And you can't do it all the same.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It's just like find a system and like stick to it, and it's like, and reevaluating as you grow. And luckily I've got several guys that aren't even in real estate that have been phenomenal mentors to me, that are in, similar service providers and stuff too. And that's just everything they told me, is just like, man, just do the little things that you can do today that you have control over. And then it's like those long-term things will begin to happen. And I started seeing some of that this past year. But the scary thing about real estate is that, like, just because you did it last year, you got to go do it again.
That's right.
You know, so
Yep.
it's just like that.
Starts back over.
Yeah, it starts back over. There's no, but fortunately, that was like something I was, you know, like we have our board with like our listings and keeping track of everything. And, you know, I came back in, like I didn't have anything on the board until, like 3 months, like, you know, and so it's like, it's kind of nice that, I'm starting off. It's like, yeah, I'm starting over 2026, but it's like, at least I already have some stuff like on the board, momentum. So it does build over time. But yeah, there is that thought in the back of your head. It's like, man, you got to go out and do it again. That's why I was like, I don't think that you can be complacent. And if you're not growing, you're dying.
Right.
So that's why, like, if I had any advice for any new agent that's possibly listening to this, or even an agent that's been doing this for like a long time, it's just like, you know, just stay the course, you know, and commit to a system. A lot of self-awareness too, like areas that you're weak in. Like my CRM is like, I hate it. Like trying to, you know, build it out. We use Lofty and trying to put on just that mundane task stuff that it's like, I don't want to do, but I know if I do it, it's going to lead to all those
That's right.
you know, long-term success and stuff too. So,
No doubt.
but
Did you read all that out of a self-help book?
what?
All that.
What?
I mean, everything you just talked about, you know, with our business and real estate. I mean, it all applies to life.
Yes,
I mean,
and
it parallels.
yes, and I think that that's the thing. If you can figure that out, like I think that that's key. It doesn't matter what business that you're in. Like these principles in like life and just your journey and just applying them to like your family, your relationships, your business, like they're not separate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like it applies like through like all of them. And I think that's the cool thing about real estate is like, one of the reasons, so Kevin Brown at Southern Ag, he was the first person that kind of mentioned real estate to me. He was like, I was doing PT at the time, and he was like, Corbin, you should think about doing real estate. I was like, I've never even thought about real estate.
Right.
And I was like, oh, he's like, yeah, I think you'd be good at it, yada, yada, yada. Because I've always loved the outdoors. You know, grew up hunting, fishing, just being outside. But like, I thought the only way in life to make money was either become a doctor or a lawyer. Like that was kind of my financial education growing up. And so I was like, I'm going to go into medicine. And just kind of like you, just kind of got run down in that the mundane, like I got just stuck, I felt like, you know, and also I didn't feel like I was putting so much like into my work and like my patients, and I didn't feel like I was bringing like a whole lot like home. I was just exhausted. I think you can really relate to that.
Amen.
And anyone in the healthcare industry, like it is so hard. Like it is, I don't think they get enough appreciation for like what they do, because I mean, they're giving so much of themselves all day, every day, working holidays, weekends. And, you know, I think everyone wants to be like, oh, they're a doctor, they make plenty of money, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, man, like the time that it took them to get to that point too, and then still the hours that they work. And then I had a doctor tell me one time when I was in high school, I was shadowing, and he was like, don't go to medical school. I was like, I'm literally sitting here shadowing, you're a doctor. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, if you combined the intellect and the work ethic that it takes to go to medical school, and you combine that towards any other business, you will be more successful.
Yeah.
I was like, what? You know, and it's because, like I said, my financial education was like, oh, you become a doctor or a lawyer, make a certain amount of income. But I think that's very important because, like, I don't think it matters what field that you're in. If you are willing to put in the work and the time, the effort, and grow, and like, if you approached real estate like medical school, like you'd be crushing it. Like my wife would smoke me in this business just because like I know the level that she can, you know, commit to something.
Right.
But yeah, it's just like that work-life balance and all these principles and stuff too. And it's, you know, like, you know, you're saying it all ties in together. It's like not chasing just that. I think we live in a society that's just instant gratification.
Right.
For sure.
And that's like a big concern for me is like this generation that's like coming up, and, you know, they've grown up in a world of social media, and it's just that dopamine hit. And then it's like now they get out in the real world and they're trying to, you know, make things happen. And then it's like, where's that dopamine hit? I'm supposed to have it like right now. And it's like, reality is these things are way down the line.
Time.
Yeah, they take time. I think focusing on those things can be, it's hard.
Yeah.
Like I have to remind myself daily that's just like, it's like right now I'm trying to build out my calendar, like for the year, things I want to do like this, like right here. It's like, this is going to take like time. And it's like, how, like, is it going to justify like how much time like I'm going to spend on this? But then it's like, okay, work it into my schedule, so many hours a week, quarter, whatever I'm dedicating to this. And then it's like, this that growth over time. It's also, I enjoy it. Like I love having conversations.
Yep.
So,
Well, that's our business.
yeah. And so,
Conversations.
and that was one thing. So like bringing it back to like Kevin, he was like, it's like, man, you love talking to people. And I was like, yeah, I do. And a lot of people tell me I talk way too much. So probably, I did, yes. We'll be at dinner. My wife's always like reaching over, like, Corbin, stop. So the growth areas for sure. But, so I guess, looking into the future, like where do y'all see, real estate kind of going? What are some trends that are y'all seeing? Like, what is y'all's, where do y'all kind of see the real estate market going, like in the next 5 years? What's some trends or some things that maybe directions that y'all want the brokerage to go?
For the brokerage side, we kind of talked and had a goal when we opened this. It's not about us. It's about our agents. I mean, our agents make the brokerage, and so our plan, our goal is, we don't want to have 30, 40, 50 agents. We want to have 10, 12, 15 agents that we can pour everything into, and for those agents to be successful. And the 5-year goal is, for y'all to be successful, for y'all to grow not only in this business, in yourself, but in your walk with Christ, and just your family to grow, just everything to grow. And ultimately that's what we want. So as for the market, where's the crystal ball?
Yeah.
Right. I wish I could
put it in Chat GPT.
Yeah, put it in Chat GPT and see what it says. When you think something's coming down the pipeline, from what you hear and what you read, and it's not always accurate. Yeah. So I project it to be great. Rates are dropping. Mm-hmm. They dropped third quarter last year, fourth quarter last year, dropped another in December, and from what we read, projected to drop again this quarter. And so you'd like to think that buyers are coming. There are a lot of people sitting on the fence at the 6.5, 7 interest rate, waiting for it to drop, or some things in life are changing. But I can tell you, my phone in the last 60 days has been nuts. Mm-hmm. Way more phone calls, listings, buyers, and so is it because of the rates? Is it because of a new year? Is it because of the comfort? Who knows? Mm-hmm. You don't ever know what's going on in somebody's life. A promotion, or somebody passes away and they want to sell a property that was left to them. But that's the beauty about talking to folks and meeting people and listening to their stories. And that's what our job is to tell the story of our clients and their property and the history and their vision, and so 5-year goal for us is to keep going down the track, full steam ahead, pour into our agents, pour into this company, pour into each other, and keep rolling.
Nice. What about you, Adam?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. When we first started, had lots of conversations about where we wanted to go, what we wanted to do, where we wanted to be, and obviously everybody wants to make money, but making money as Pursuit Properties as a brokerage was not ever our goal. It was always just to making sure that Pursuit Properties had enough money to pour into the agents to make sure that anybody that came on had what they needed. We could help them to be successful.
And do some fun things in between.
Yes.
Go hunting.
and have fun.
And I think we got a turkey trip coming up.
Yes, excited about that. I
in
mean,
Texas.
I know we're still in duck season, but like I'm already starting to think about
Well,
turkeys.
it is
I mean, it's been
70-something degrees outside
I mean, it's
today.
been
so-
terrible too, and like that's something that's the last. I mean, I've been duck hunting since I was 4 years old, and I feel like it's getting worse like over the years. I think that the senator from Louisiana just put out like a big. Did y'all see the letter that he just wrote? I think Senator Keller or something like that. I'm trying to remember his name. It's on a lot of the duck forums like right now, but they're basically pushing for a lot of changes just because I think people are waking up. I think people have been promised the dream from Ducks Unlimited, just keep giving. The ducks numbers are up, but then it's like, us as like hunters and as conservationists, I tell people all the time that like hunters are the number one conservationist. Like there's no other group out there that is spending the time, money, and effort in improving habitat for wildlife than hunters. And I think people are starting to, get almost like burned on it, like, with the ducks. And I know it's affected duck properties and stuff too. I mean, you just see it because it's like it used to. It's like, oh man, if you had a property that you've got deer and ducks, it's like values going up. Everybody wants that, dream duck property. And it's just, man, they're becoming harder and harder to find just because there's just less ducks. And then also it's like, what are the factors that we can't even control? Because we can come in, we can manage like flood and timber. There's a lot of people that are like now trying to, they basically call it legalized baiting with all like the flooded corn. That's like a way that people kill ducks. It's like pumping cornfield, having habitat, and so like I'm torn on it just because obviously like. I never condone hunting over bait, but like, if you put in like time, effort, it's just like a food plot, like for deer, that's habitat for waterfowl. And so it's like, yeah, like, is it a legal form of baiting? I really don't know, but we've definitely seen a way how it's affected the flight patterns and like, ducks are staying up north now just because, or like out west, and a lot of the flyways kind of starting to shift. And I think it's just because people are invested like up north and they can plant, thousands of acres of corn, flood it and hold ducks. And lately we haven't been getting the big cold fronts till later and later and later in the year. You might get like a small one, but a lot of people think, oh, it's 32 degrees. We gotta be killing some ducks. And it's like, man, it's got to be like locked up for like a few days. Like ducks like cold. There's a reason why, they breed up in Canada, in the prairie pothole region. They don't mind it. So it's got to be pretty severe to like, push them down. And, I just I don't think we've had the extreme weather or it's just backed up. Like I feel like it's always in February. And that's when I feel like we start getting ducks.
Well, a lot of people over the years talk about, why can't we back the season up? Why can't we, why can't it go to the middle of February? And, a lot of that has to do with it's what the biologists say is the pairing for the ducks. And so I think it has a lot to do with a lot of it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stars have to align for the South to get the really, really good push of ducks. And it's I definitely think it's the duck hunting properties in Mississippi have not the interest, but the
interest is at an all-time high.
It is, but
so hunting pressure's up.
But as a real estate agent, when you ask your seller, hey, how many ducks did y'all kill last year? What's a history? They don't have a history. Well, for us, we want to promote a property to the best of our ability, right? And so you want to make sure that it is a duck property. You go invest corn. Corn's not easy nor cheap to plant and spray and pump and water and then you
get water on and
you
off.
shoot 50 ducks a year.
Yeah.
Then you've got a client texting you or calling you and so it a lot of frustration by a lot of people, and but what's the answer? Nobody knows.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm always like worried about what we can control. It's unfortunate that we have it's a migratory bird,
Right.
and they're not just here. People ask me that question all the time. It's just like at the end of the day, it's like if that's only like your goal, then it's like, man, there's so many other. It's like why I love duck hunting is the camaraderie of it. It's like, man, sitting in a duck hole, sipping some coffee, watching the sunrise, and going up to like camp and just spending that time. Like, man, it's special. Like, I think God has given us something that is just truly incredible to be able to go out and like experience. And it's like, yes, if we're killing ducks, it's awesome. But like, I think that if it's only based on the numbers, it's like,
That's right.
We're kind of missing it anyways. So, but there's a lot of people that you want to kill ducks. So it's like, I get it, but a big shift for me. Like, I'm not mad at them like I used to. I'd be getting up, midnight, sleeping in a truck, racing people to public land and stuff like that. It's like, I'd just rather just go somewhere. I don't care if I kill, 1, 2, 3 ducks.
Right.
It's like just, spending the time out there. But, there's a lot of kids, especially around here, that, man, they're still.
They can't make a social media post about camaraderie and
They eat up with it. It's all about the
and
numbers.
it's all about the content. It really is. And it's like, I'm happy because like I want more hunters.
Right.
Like I do want that. But at the same time, it's like, are we only doing it just so we can post, pictures of ducks or videos for likes on TikTok and
Right.
Instagram and Facebook,
Right.
and stuff too. And it's like,
Well, if you go back to think about it, all my memories hunting with my dad and my friends are not necessarily. I can't tell you how many ducks we killed those days.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like wading out to a hole and somebody steps in a beaver run and they go under.
Yeah.
Hell, I don't know how many ducks we killed that day. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the memories you make, and now that I have kids, it's 100%. It's about let's just go to camp and cook a steak,
cook a
watch a
steak.
football game, have a fire, ride 4-wheelers. So what if you ride the 4-wheeler at 1:00 in the afternoon before you go hunt at 2? Like, it's about the memories.
Yeah.
And nobody will ever remember, oh, we went to camp and we only killed 2 ducks. No, we went to camp and we had a heck of a time. Mm-hmm. So,
I can remember some really good elk hunts that we did not come home with elk.
yes,
And I think you talk about those more than
It is.
the ones that you do
it
actually.
is. It was like, hey, Adam, remember that time you shot that massive elk and we spent 3 days looking for it?
Or remember that time you shot at 3 elk the first time you went out there and didn't kill any
I
of
don't know
them.
what he's talking about.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I have no
Yeah.
idea what that.
Yeah. So that like,
Guilty.
and then
It was more than 3, by the way.
and once again, I think that just goes back to that delayed gratification that, like we're talking about, like, cause then when it does come together, I think it makes it more special. It's like when I do get on a good timber hunt, when the ducks are just
Right.
doing it right, man, it's like, oh, like this is awesome. And I feel like, if it was like that every time, it's like a dove hunt, sometimes like you go out, you shoot a bunch of doves. It's like, that's not as rewarding. Like,
Right.
to me, it's like, yeah, it's the same thing like, with the elk, and it's like the time effort. I mean, what is the success rate? I think it's like, maybe less than 10%, like
Yeah.
on public land,
Very
like
low.
Colorado. I just, heard that stat like recently, and it's like, but when it does pay off, it's like, so I harvested my first buck in Kansas this fall and started hunting out there. It was my 3rd year, unsuccessful the first 2 years. Yeah, it made it just that much more special than if I had just gone out there and shot one like on the first time. And you think about all that, it's just like, and it makes you be better. It's like, hey, what are some, you learn. It's like, hey, like I made some mistakes this first time. Okay, well, I'll learn from those. Got a little bit closer. Just figuring out a property and stuff too. And then it's like when that plan comes together,
Right.
it's like, man, that's rewarding. And it's not even just about the kill, and it's just like, or the picture is just like the story that's like behind it. Mm-hmm. Like my father-in-law told me like this year, like when I killed my deer, he's like, you're going to tell your grandkids like about this. I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like it was just a beautiful morning on the river. The buck bedded down with the doe for an hour and 15 minutes, like right in front of me. It's just like trying not to make a sound, praying my wind doesn't shift. I mean, I'm literally just like, God, like it's right here. Like, please just let this happen. And yeah, it's just like, it makes it so much more worth it.
Yeah. Well, I think that comes with age too.
Yeah.
I think, the older you get, the less the numbers mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about the memories and kids and friends and family that you're going with. And I mean, when I was young, it was young and dumb and get up at 3 and drive to the Delta and hunt and come back, be at work by 2 in the afternoon, work till 11, 12 o'clock at night, sleep for 2 hours, get up at 3, drive back. It was, we were all addicted and obsessed with it at one time, but with age, it just comes with, I enjoy just sitting in a stand by myself.
Yeah.
And Miles has got to the point where he can hunt by himself, and it stresses me out. With a rifle, Miles is, if anybody knows Miles, is super cautious.
Oh, yeah.
Very safety oriented, doesn't load it till he gets in the stand.
Yep.
Shot an elk at 300 yards, dropped it, like really good. I know like, oh, he's 12, he can't. Well, he is. He's very safe. I've watched him and been with him and let him. We went on 10 hunts where I was like, hey, this is your hunt. Mm-hmm. Like, you drive the side by side. You tell me where we're going. I'll be right behind you. And watching you do it yourself.
Let him fail in a safe environment.
Absolutely. And I'm right there to say, hey, that's not what we're supposed to do. Will you talk like that? No, sir. Okay, so go back, redo it again, and so now he's wanting to bow hunt by himself, which he went with some of our best friends a couple weeks ago. He sat on a lock-on stand, 2 feet off the ground behind a little thing, so I was fine with that. But then I hung a lock-on the other day for him and sticks and lifeline and bow hanger and walked into the stand, watched him get up, pulls everything, and so. But it's fun to watch that, and for me to go sit in the stand by myself and just like I think I saw 12. I didn't even touch my bow. I could care less. It's just enjoying the ducks coming in, a little hole, and deer walking, and raccoons, and it's not about the kill anymore. Mm-hmm. So super cool.
Yeah,
you'll get there one day.
Man, it's so funny because it's like, Evelyn, she's 8 months now. And it's just, even from the young age, like she's learning, she's crawling, she's learning to stand up, and it's just like letting her fail in a safe environment. Like, she'll like kind of fall down, and I start clapping for her. I'm like, yay, like good job, not teaching her to like be fearful like of that. Right. And she's like, oh, I just did something cool. And it's like,
I can fall down without hurting.
And it's like not, it might be scary, but then it's just like little things like that. So I'm already getting to experience a little bit of that, because like I don't want to be a helicopter parent, even though it's like, man, I'm still terrified of, everything. Yeah. You want to be safe, but it's like, wanting them to learn to fail and then provide that like in a safe environment. And so like I see you doing that with Miles. I see you do that with Michael Lee. Even though he doesn't listen sometimes about tromping around in the duck hole,
right.
That was pretty funny. So that's another thing. Like, I mean, did we shoot some ducks that morning? I'm trying to remember if we.
Which was that? The Willow Hole.
The Willow Hole.
Lee Michael was just like, he was trying to like all big and bad, and then he fell down.
Yeah. And like Adam kept telling him, he was like, "You're gonna fall, boy."
Hey, Lee Michael, you better stop. Lee Michael. All right, Lee Michael, this is the last time I'm gonna tell you. I was, oh God, this all this.
Yeah.
Immediately
splash, and he's like, "I'm cold." You're like,
"Yeah, oh well,
sorry."
You'd be lucky I learned.
Now you're learning.
You're lucky I warned you 3 times.
Yeah,
But
I think one of my favorite memories duck hunting was when we first started. Me and my brother's 2 years older than me. I mean, my dad bought us some like the old black fishing waders, uninsulated, and he's teaching us to walk, and I remember my brother, and he's like, all right, you know, I'm a little further back, and he's like, Montana, come up, you know, walk towards me, make sure you wade, you're not walking, you know, and my brother just tromps off in there, goes under, fills his wader. I remember my dad picks him up by his feet, like dumping the water like out of it. I'm like staying wide out. It was cold too. It was so funny though. But once again, it's just like, you know, he's letting it fall. But I learned a lot from watching my brother fall that morning. I was like, wait, you don't walk. You know? So I'm like real cautious. And I think I've fallen in like one time in my career, knock on wood. But I'm like, still just like that memory from that. I don't want to fall in. So just be a little more cautious.
That's right.
My dad had plenty of stories of him falling in when he was young, hunting Delta National and everything. Got tons of stories. And I think that's probably some of my best, like, just memories is just spending time with my dad, like duck hunting.
Yep.
It's like, I don't remember too many of the times, like, it was about the number of ducks, you know? So you go back and you look at some pictures and stuff, and you're like, oh, yeah, we smoked them that day, you know? And you have some memories with that for sure, but I've got so many memories when we might not. The guy we used to hunt with, his name was Butch. Butch had one leg. He was injured in a construction accident, and just awesome guy. I mean, just full on redneck. But he had a pair of waders that he had cut off the hip on the other side, sewed it up. So he's out there hopping like in the duck hole with one. We backed the side by side up in there. He sat on the tailgate of the side by side. But I remember one morning, just dead, nothing flying. He looked at my dad. He's like, Tracy, how much one of them decoys cost? My dad's like, I don't know, like $10. He's sitting there for a little bit, watching the sky. Reaches in the wallet, throws $10 at my dad. Boom! she's one of the decoys. It's so funny. So I was like, once again, I was like, I'm probably 8, 9 years old, and that's just still one of the funniest things I've experienced, like in a duck hole on a day that we killed 0 ducks.
That's funny.
It's man, they're awesome. I remember one time we were home with some friends of ours, and we went on, and I felt horrible. But I was probably, I don't know, 10, and you know me, I'm super cautious. And I go everything slow and meticulous, right?
Yeah.
And I'm driving this 4-wheeler, and we have like all the guns strapped to the front of the 4-wheeler, and like me and my buddy, and it's my dad and my friend's dad. And we were going down to this break, and we get down there, and I haul ass down there and unload everything and go back and pick them up. And we get to the hole, and everything's set up, and we're all undoing our guns. And my buddy's dad's like, "Hey, where's my gun?" I said, I don't know. Did you strap it to the front? I said, yeah. So like, we look around, there's no gun anywhere, and so we hunt, can't find it. On the way back, like halfway down the road, it's sitting in the middle of the road. It's a double barrel, wood, nice gun that had come off the front because I was driving so slow and run over it and broke the stock on this gun. And I think still to this day, he has not fixed that gun.
Oh, no. How old were you?
I was probably like 10. Oh. I probably got a...
That actually happened last week, guys.
Yeah, that happened last week. He's going to be like, yeah. No, you probably just reminded him. He's going to like hear this and be like, oh, yeah. Like, Joseph owes me a gun.
Yeah, he was my dad's very best friend. But I never forget that. I probably got a few licks for that, for not driving, ramped a log. Hit a log, came off, didn't even think about it. Bungee cord broke or something, I don't know, but... So, again, the memories that, I don't know, may have killed something, may not, but I remember those lessons, those licks I got for it.
Sure. Well, hopefully, like I said, I'm looking forward to, we're going to Texas, when?
April. Mid-April, something.
Yeah, first or second week of April.
Going to April, take a bunch of agents out there, shoot some Rios.
Yep, it's going to be a lot of fun. And like, once again, I think that, it's fun, but I think that's intentional too. It's not just like, y'all two are like, all right, peace out. It's like, hey, when can all of y'all go? And trying to make it, affordable time and everything too, so we can spend time with like each other and just like, last month, a few weeks ago, when we were out with Zach and, just duck hunting. I mean, deer hunting and shooting some does and just spending time together and stuff. Enjoy that. Getting to know guys better because,
Right.
there's a few guys I'm obviously closer with, like within the brokerage, but then just having those opportunities to continue to grow in those relationships with like the other guys. Like I said, I think it's super important. So
Right.
I think that we do a good job of it. So looking forward to doing more of those trips for sure. too.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's gonna be a good time trying to keep talking about putting an elk trip together. We gotta,
Yeah.
before you know it, applications will be
Yep.
ready to go in. So we got to figure out 2026 elk
Yeah.
trip. I'm tapped out, by the way.
Yeah.
After this year, Miles putting it down and taxidermy bill and shipping
Yeah.
meat back and
There's so many things you want to do, and it's just like time. Kids. 'Cause you've got 3. You've got two. Yeah. So it's time. There's only so many hours in a day, so many days in a year. But well, guys, I think wrap it up there. I really appreciate y'all coming on.
Yeah,
really
man.
enjoyed it.
Thanks
was
for having
fun.
us. Looking
Thanks,
forward to
guys.
it.
Yep. Enjoyed it.
Appreciate it, brother.
All right.